Yes, guys, the time is finally here. It is match week for the Wear-Tyne derby in the FA Cup, of course. And I'll be honest with you, and a lot of people have been asking me since the draw was made how I'm feeling about it, if I'm nervous, if I'm scared. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't been nervous whatsoever. I've just had this attitude of just get into him, get stuck in, and other than that, nothing else. Now, as soon as I've watched the pre-match presser, and now we're getting closer and we're edging closer and closer to match day, the nerves are starting to creep in. And I know for a lot of Sunderland fans, particularly some viewers who watch this channel, it's going to be their first experience of a derby, and it's going to be in such a strange circumstance as well. I've supported Sunderland since, the late 90s. I've seen a flurry of batterings in the favour of the Mags. Then I've seen us, of course, 6 in a row and unbeaten in 9. And, regardless of the situation, be it, when I was first supporting the club, it was largely Newcastle winning the majority of them. And even sometimes when you expect it, you know that they've got a greater team or a greater side, at the time, it doesn't matter. Even if you're expecting to get beat, when you do get beat, it fucking hurts. It really, really hurts. But this is a different situation, somewhat. Don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly expecting a win here. I'm not. But even so, again, I'm just preparing those who have never experienced a derby against the Mags. As a Sunderland fan, as a young Sunderland fan, even if you're expecting defeat, it's going to hurt if it happens. It is going to hurt, so just be prepared for that, regardless of what the expectations are. It's going to hurt. That's the thing. That's the nature of the beast. We hate these with a passion. And, a win would be absolutely incredible, but it is nothing short of a miracle that we're hoping for at the moment. And that's it. The pressure is all on them. The pressure is entirely on them. The thing is, if they come away with anything but an absolute cricket score, it's going to be deemed an embarrassment on them. Unless they come away with a 3-4-5-0 win, they're going to look shite. They're going to look shite. If we literally, even if we get beat, like I say, regardless of how it happens or when it happens, it's going to hurt. It's going to really, really hurt. It's going to be a gut punch. But, say for example, we put an absolute shift in. Every single one of those lads commits to a challenge. No ducking out of shit, like we have seen with a couple of players recently. Abdullah Bar has been doing it. When Pembele come on the other day against Preston, 09 absolutely give him an earful because he was ducking out of challenges when he come on for the brief spell he did. If the players just give a solid 90 minutes, put an absolute shift in, and then say they manage to get a goal or two towards the end of the game while we're knackered and chasing it, that's the nature of the beast. They are a Champions League side. They're already throwing excuses out there, which I get it. In the Premier League or in the Champions League, they've got loads of games coming thick and fast. I get that. They have a huge injury list, as we've had to compete with a lot of the time. But don't get me wrong, they do have a massive injury list. But even without these injured players, they still have a Premier League team there, and they still have more than enough ability that should on paper see off Sunderland. But hopefully, of course, that isn't the case. So like I say, all I want to see is every single one of those players putting everything in, no ducking out of challenges, playing for the badge, playing for the shirt, understanding what this means to the club and to the area, putting everything in, and we will be behind you every step of the way. And the way I'm speaking now, I'm amping myself up now. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm shitting myself. Now I'm shitting myself. Now it's happening, guys. Now it's happening. But that's it. That's it. That's all we want. We want a load of lads who really do put a shift in, make us proud, and that'll do for me. In any other example or existence of this derby, when we've been in the same league, it's a win. A win, and that's all you want. Everything else hurts. But with this, it's such a different situation and an experience that I've never experienced with it being in the Cup, and because we're a league below as well. That's the beauty of the Cup. It can throw up things like this, and it's never happened in my lifetime, playing Newcastle in the Cup. So, again, it's one of them. It's a massive underdog story, but one that is going to absolutely play into our favour. Going into the game as such, the Mags, they're going to come and they're going to go at us. And that plays in our favour. Not to say that means we're obviously going to go and fucking win 3-4-5-0. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying whenever teams come to the stadium like, which is very, very rare, mind you, and get at us, and we're forced to allow possession to the opposition, when we're absorbing pressure, we can be very, very good on the counter-attack. And the likes of Jack Clark, Pritchard breaking forward, we could do something. There's something there, particularly the likes of Jack Clark, as I say. if we do have to sit and absorb on the counter-attack, we can be lethal. We can be very, very dangerous, as opposed to a lot of the sides, 99% of the sides that come to Stadium Light, they sit back, they let us have all the possession. The amount of times we've seen games where we've had 60, 75% of possession, and all we do is pass it around the edge of the box, and we just don't have that cutting edge, and we make nothing of it, and then we'll hand a lead away on the break, and we'll lose 1-0, and the amount of times that's happened is it's ridiculous. Or we'll draw with, racking up a tally of 30 shots, so, it's just the way it works. But this, if we were going to have a chance to beat Newcastle, that is the way it's going to work. We're going to have to be incredibly, incredibly patient. We can't be naive and just fling ourselves at it. Of course, in terms of challenges, go in and go in hard. Do not leave anything behind. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of just absolutely going at them, attacking-wise, on the ball, and just throwing everything at it, or committing too many forward and stuff like that, we can't be naive, because they will punish us. At the end of the day, as much as I'm saying, I'd love to see us beat them and everything, they are a very good side, as much as I hate to say it. They have some very, very good individual players that on the day could absolutely rinse our defence in comparison in terms of quality. They can rinse us. So that possibility is there. All I want from this, like I say, bare minimum, is to not get absolutely battered. If it comes away and ends up being a 4-5, 6-0 win, again, that would kill me. It'd kill me off, but it's what's expected. So if Newcastle, they can't really win in this situation. And I can say that, for their fans, they'll obviously eventually and finally have some kind of bragging rights over us. But they do look a bit daft in terms of, okay, well, you should be beating a championship team 4-5, 6-0. You're always bragging about how much fucking oil money you've got, or blood money, do you know what I mean? They're always bragging about this, that and the other. We're the richest club in the world now, So they should be beating us 4-5, 6-0 on paper. So when they start celebrating, it's like, right, okay. And what? Do you know what I mean? But even if it's just a 1-2-0 win to them, it looks really good on us. If we manage to get a draw or a win, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? Jesus, just the thought, the thought is just insane. It is dreamland. For the young Sunderland fans who've never experienced this before, a win in a derby, fucking hell, it is the best feeling in the world, and I'm fortunate to have experienced it 6 times in a row. It was incredible. You can lose every other game of the season, but if you beat the Mags, nothing else matters. And I can tell you what, those players will feel it as well. That there is no other feeling. If somehow any of you lads from the team are watching this, which I know you're not, but if you are, just put everything into it. Absolutely everything. No holding back. Do it for the city. Do it for the fans. Do it for yourselves. You will never experience anything like this derby again. Unless we get promoted to play them again. But as of right now, you won't feel any. This will be the first for a lot of these players that have ever experienced anything like it. Make the most of it. Enjoy it. And get us the fucking win. I would love to beat those bastards. I would fucking love it. Ran myself Kevin Keegan then, which isn't a good look, is it? But yeah, this wasn't much of a review, just more of almost an amping myself up here a little bit. Like I said, they've got a big injury record. I think they've lost 7 of the last 8 games, whatever it is, in the league. What bodes well for us, which I was really happy with. Of course, we've won the last couple, but we've also just won at home. We've just come straight off the back of a home win. So it's going to be a positive vibe. Familiar, we just beat Preston, a good side in there, in the Championship. So there's going to be a very good feeling within the camp, and I can't imagine any player that wouldn't be up for this. Any player that even if one of our best players, if Beal spots one of our players, he doesn't seem quite 100%, even if it's one of our best players, don't stick him on the pitch. Just don't do it. In terms of what team I'll go for, I will probably go unchanged from the Preston game. I believe, after watching the pre-match presser, that Roberts is a massive, massive doubt, which is a huge shame, because I think he really would cause problems on the break. We know what he's like. So for me, I'll probably go unchanged from the Preston game and see what happens there. But there we go, guys. I'm shitting myself. What do you guys think the score is going to be? Let me know in the comments down below. And please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Here we go. Come on, lads. Away, lads. Fuck the Mags. Stay jammy.